this is probably going to be a short video, but I guess, it ties into what Paul said that, when I was a child, I spoke as a child, but when I became a man, I put away those childish things. So, my son is getting older, and, he has where it's hard for him to really speak clearly. I mean, we can understand some things that he says, but other times it's hard to understand him. And although he is 8, he's more slow, learning things than other kids his age. And so, but he is smart in math. He gets it quickly, but in some ways he's still slow. But, that's besides the point. I mean, that's showing academically that he's progressing. But regarding speech and all that, I mean, his mentality, he's progressing, he's getting older, he likes boy things, but being that he is my first kid biologically, it's me that also has to move on, with it, and it's hard for me, because I love telling him I love him. I love, I keep, telling him I want to snuggle. I joke around with him. And sometimes he gets irritated. And I don't want to exasperate him, but on the same page, he's just so cute that, I just want to, pick him up, hug him, kiss his cheek and things like that. And, being a boy, he don't like that. And, I need to move to the place where I can't do that no more. I can't say that stuff to him anymore, I mean, he says he wants to snuggle his mom. And he doesn't snuggle me. And, in some ways that bothers me. I don't want him growing up resenting or hating me just because, I want to hug him and stuff like that. So I need God's help in finding out, the best way to handle that. How I can love him, how I can show my love to him, without, treating him, like that same little boy that didn't care about hugs and snuggles and stuff like that. It's making that transition from, growing with him, So, that's something that God has to help me on, because I do love my son, but I don't want to exasperate him, and I fear I do that sometimes. And, my wife sometimes has called me up on it, I can't treat him that way, so it's really, moving on from that place, how can I treat my son, as an older boy? What can I do to show my affection to him? What can I do to show my love as a dad to him? So, you may have dealt with that if you have kids. I'd like to hear below, how you progressed with your child. Were once babies and you hugged and you snuggled them, but as they grew older, they don't like that stuff no more. So I'd like to hear your thoughts if you hear this. Thanks for taking the time to watch.